Yo, what is going on? Welcome back to another SandStorm meetup. Today, I am joined by the PangeaDAO. When we have an absolute squad here with us. How are you guys doing?
What's up? What's up?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate you guys coming on the show today. Thank you very much. And we're here to talk about your guys' project, which you guys have a token sale coming up. We'll cover that a little bit, and just kind of talk about what you guys are planning on doing, and now and into the future. But I guess I usually like to start the show with a little bit of an introduction about the team, how you guys came together, and I guess a little bit about yourselves, and then a little brief overview of the project. So if anyone wants to enlighten me how you guys came together.
I can go first just as an intro, and I'll let the guys kind of talk about the backstory. I'm new to the core team, so I'll just talk about where I started with it.
Okay.
I started as an advisor with these guys. They did an incredible job. I'm obviously a little biased, but they did a nice job finding some great advisors. And so really just helping really add flavor to, metaverse land, digital land, and some of the, there's so many of them out there now. It really started with just a handful. I know that as that's growing day after day, really keeping a finger on the pulse of the market and, what's out there, what can you do in them? What's the potential for each of them? Just a sort of quick background is I started with Bitcoin in 2017, as most people usually start there. Back in the day, now they start with NFTs, so it's a totally different kind of entry.
Yeah.
Kind of went down the rabbit hole. ICOs, one of the ICOs was Decentraland, and then got some land shortly after the Terraform auction. So yeah, I've been kind of interested in this stuff for a while, but I'm really happy to have joined these founders on the core team, and just very, very excited for what we have planned for everybody.
Nice. So you would say that you're kind of I guess you would say you're kind of an expert in like metaverse land and just metaverse stuff.
It's hard to say if there are any experts at this point.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
I think I spend a lot of time thinking about it and researching it. I think that's fair enough to say. I hope to become an expert one day, and I hope there will be many experts as time goes on, as we can all sort of take our daydreams and make them realities here.
Yeah. Awesome.
I would agree with that, Johnny. I think like the only real people that will be experts are the ones that are paying attention and every day researching and trying to figure out what's next and what's happening. Because the space is just moving so fast. So yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm Punk8621. Thanks a lot for having us on here. Really appreciate it. I guess I started out in sort of just personally investing, getting into DeFi, LPing, buying small cap coins and shit coins, and just sort of playing the market for a few years. Then I got into algorithmic trading, which was sort of my entry into the more sort of starting to think about it and realize sort of the opportunity that we have. And then sort of just got further and further down the rabbit hole since about 2017, I suppose. And yeah, we just sort of were led to the stage where next stage seemed to be like a metaverse play. It was like first we went into LPing, DeFi, then looking at sort of NFTs, then getting really excited about NFTs, and then realizing what's next. Well, it's for sure, I think, digital and virtual worlds in whatever form or way it then turns out to happen. It's still up for grabs, but it's definitely a huge opportunity, both financially, but also it's exciting because there's a lot of new stuff happening that we're going to get to experience and technology we're going to get to play with. So I'm just really bullish on everything in all digital worlds. Some of them are going to be able to execute and some are going to bring the community. I definitely think Sandbox is a contender to be one of the main ones. Well, it already is, but long term. And yeah, we just sort of got into this sort of through getting together a bunch of friends saying that like we want to get into these worlds. We don't know how to. So how do we form an alliance, research it and figure it out, and join forces with the right people and the right groups and put the sort of the right research and brains together. And then on a larger scale to push that to sort of a bit wider community. But I'll let the others introduce themselves before we maybe get into that.
All right.
Yeah, no need to take a ton of time on the introduction stuff. Rather talk about Pangea. But hey, I'm Albert. I run marketing community building here at Pangea. Yeah, and we're really we kind of built this project around the idea of like, why buy one parcel in one of the main metaverse lands when I could get a fractional share via a token of a large portfolio of different metaverse lands and different virtual worlds.
Yeah, I kind of looked at it when I was reading over your guys' website and roadmap and stuff, and I kind of looked at it also as a way for people that, because a lot of people are priced out of metaverse land, and you can't go and buy a $10,000 Sandbox land or whatever it's going for now, and it kind of like gives you an entry into these different lands without having to throw a big chunk of money. If I'm reading into that correct.
Yeah, totally. That was like the core piece of what we kind of founded Pangea around. And then obviously there's other things that come to light when you start really spending a lot of time in that space, revolving around the idea of like, on top of that, you can gain so much value if you develop on your land, but obviously that's a very difficult thing to do, especially in various different worlds. So having this in-house creators guild that does all that work for you and increases the value of the land, there are a bunch of new parts of the project, but I guess at its foundational core, that was really it. It's that it's one, really expensive to buy these lands, and two, there's so many new projects rolling out day after day. It's a full-time job to try and keep up with the market and do like quality research on your investments prior to entering.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. And so, like you said, we don't need to spend a whole too crazy time on the introductions because obviously we're here to talk about Pangea. And I guess for people watching the stream that might not know about you guys, know about the token sale coming up, basically you guys are wanting to create a organization that votes on a portfolio of land. You guys are wanting to own land, not just in one metaverse, but multiple different metaverses that essentially is voted on by the token holders. I guess my question is what metaverses are you guys eyeing first?
I think our initial plan is to really attack the kind of the old realm or blue chip projects. We're not going to come out and have like some obscure investment as one of our early investments. We're going to spend a good deal of the initial treasury on like the big scale projects. So Decentraland, Sandbox, crypto voxels, NFT worlds. Those kind of projects are what we're going to be the core and the main backing of the treasury. As we grow, we're also going to be looking to explore these new venture opportunities as they kind of come a la carte in terms of like us giving investments in new projects and instead of in token shares, rather like give us land shares. But I'd say that the main projects that we're focused on in the short term are the big ones.
Awesome. And then, you guys have mentioned you're going to have obviously allow holders to stake, and then through that, they're going to get rewards. I guess how are they going to get those rewards, and what are those rewards going to look like?
So the way that we sort of envision this is we're bridging together resources in many forms. We're bridging together actual capital from investors, but at the same time, we're going to bring this creators guild that we've developed, which is a guild of a lot of different creators, whether that be NFT artists, 3D builders, modelers, designers, architects, you name it. We have a bunch of sort of different types of creatives. So we're bridging the resources, the capital, the creatives, as well as sort of the expertise and the people that are sitting day in and day out researching the right opportunities. We're going to put this all together in one sort of DAO format, as you mentioned, where we're then able to make proposals to the community, and based on the projected return on investment, based on the value it creates to the community, they're then going to vote on which projects we want to enter. It's sort of two-sided. We want to use the collective wisdom that we can find in our whole community to make the best decisions. At the same time, we also want to have be experts in the field and be bringing up the right proposals. And so then we hope that, with this sort of alliance and with this connection between all these different resources, we're able to, make income generating investments, and then also our investments in general increase in value. So by users being active, by them helping the DAO grows itself, and we actually become worth more. So the tokens would. It's not financial advice, of course, but generally what happens, when a treasury increases in value, is that the token price goes up. And then on top of that, what I think is really interesting is by actually voting, we're going to use governance mining. And what that means to anyone that might not be familiar with it is that you actually get rewarded for taking part in the governance. So by voting, you'll be rewarded a share of the staking rewards. And we believe this is really important because there's a lot of projects where users are very idle. They maybe don't have that much participation. And we think, A, that's a shame because there's a lot of knowledge that you miss out on. There's a lot of opportunities that you might not catch. And B, it like for the sake of the community, I think it's worth listening to everyone and getting their input. And of course, we're trying to make our token distribution as fair as possible, which is we've taken a lot of steps to make it fair. We haven't taken any pre-seed money. We haven't gone to VCs and asked for money. We want to be, initially funded by the community, and at least give them like the full chance to get in at the same price. And what that means is we're much more decentralized. So actually, people won't have. There's a lot of DAOs where there's some big players that own half of the DAO, and so whenever there's a vote, they decide what happens. And we're trying to avoid that. We believe that voting should be fair, and we're going to phase that out so that eventually the community will be voting on decisions.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like what you said, a lot of DAOs that I've been a part of, you wouldn't have a whole lot of participation with people voting. And a big reason for that is, one, like they didn't really get anything for voting. And two, I feel like a lot of people felt like their vote didn't really matter because the whales were going to be the ones that decided the fate of the vote anyway. So I like you guys are doing the rewards to have people participate, because that is extremely important. And the allocation, we didn't talk about that. Like, you guys do have a pre-sale coming up. And you're allowing 1 Ethereum, I guess, per wallet, correct?
Sorry, Albert, I thought you were going to speak. Yeah, so actually I didn't touch on that before, but on the 18th of April, we're going to have our pre-sale, which is an opportunity for anyone that wants to be a part of Pangea from the very beginning to join. And it's a way for them to get on the allow list and purchase up to 1 ETH worth of the tokens. And the reason we've capped it is because we think we have to cap it somewhere, because we don't want any whales accumulating at a pre-sale. We do, of course, want whales. We encourage people to we don't encourage people to ape in, but like that's obviously awesome if people and parts of the community want to do that. But at such an early stage, we think it's detrimental to projects that there are such large holders, which goes back to the governance. And we'd rather sort of scale that out and have that happen at the public launch. But initially, we're capping the amount people can contribute to 1 ETH. And that's the reason behind it. And at the moment, we're sort of inviting different communities, different people active in the space. We're giving out spots at a recent event at the Decentraland Fashion Week. And sometimes in our Discord, we're giving away allow list spots as well. We really want to get a diverse group of people that want to be active. It's also right for people that maybe don't want to just stake and idly and earn less governance rewards. But we also really encourage active users that want to be a part of the DAO, that want to help us grow, to jump in our Discord and get an allow list spot and join us.
Awesome. And all of the what percent from the pre-sale is going to go to the treasury?
So basically the tools from eventually 100% or almost 100% of the pre-sale is going to be going towards the treasury, but initially the pre-sale funds are being used to bootstrap liquidity necessary for our public sale.
Yeah.
So in the short term, that's what those funds are going to. And then in the end, all the funds raised, 100% of the funds, or I don't want to say 100% of the funds, but almost 100% of the funds from the pre and public sale are going to the treasury, aside from some that'll be going towards launch expenses.
Yeah. Okay. Because yeah, obviously, you'll be on a decentralized exchange, either Uniswap or Sushi Swap, and you got to have liquidity there for people that want to purchase more. If they want to become a whale, they can buy more. So it's understandable. Yeah, I saw that. I guess we talked about a little bit. The core team is going to propose initial investment opportunities. So, basically you guys are going to go in and say, all right, we're going to either get land in Sandbox, Decentraland, or NFT Worlds. We're going to run a vote. Which one do you guys want land in first? Is that essentially how it's going to work?
So initially, the way we want to decentralize it is initially the sort of core team will lay out an investment thesis and strategy for which lands we'll jump into first.
Yeah.
And then as we sort of move further along with time, we think naturally there's going to be people that can participate and join in and join the core team. They'll be able to join. So the goal is then to onboard people, to sort of push that. And then, as we move on, we want to make it so that the community fully decides. But that's definitely a transitional period because a lot of people are new to this world. A lot of people maybe are coming from Sandbox and don't know much about DCL or vice versa. And so we're going to do a lot of legwork in the beginning in sort of formalizing these CCs, sort of making these investments, and then gradually push it on. And that's also why we want a diverse group of people from different types of metaverses, not just from one. Because then when we make these decisions, it's, people are we're just going to have a lot of different opinions, which is, I think, great because through a variety of opinions, we sometimes find some great ones and some great ideas. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta at least narrow it down so people can make a vote on some things.
And we will have just to add on to that a little bit. We are coming up, based on what all the things we were just saying around guidelines and investment thesis. We're going to have sort of not rules or laws or anything like that, but we'll have some guidelines for the kind of worlds that make sense for Pangea, especially with the squad, the DAO squads that we're going to have in-house, right? The creators and sort of the consulting arm. So there are certain framework for the worlds that make most sense for us to own and to then market. So yeah, we'll be providing some insights into that. We're working on an article right now, which we should be able to launch or at least release within the next several days, or at a minimum next week. At most next week. So we'll have a good. I think most of our community will have a good idea of the kind of worlds that we're interested in and that make sense for us. And of course, as time goes on, as we become more and more decentralized, that discussion opens up more and more through proposals and conversations in the Discord in sort of the direction that the metaverse takes. It's just so early right now that, I think we have a certain, penciled in idea of what looks like is going to happen over the next 12 to 18 months. But, anything could happen. So we got to, at least with a starting framework, to be able to adapt and move with how the market moves.
Yeah. Awesome. And something I did want to talk about is, rewards to people holding, anyone watching the stream or just reading. Obviously, a lot of people gravitate to, what am I going to get out of this? Like, how is this going to line my pockets? You guys are planning on creating different ways to monetize the land that you guys buy. I guess if you want to talk a little bit about that, how are you going to, make money from the land that you're buying for the community?
I can take that one. So the way that we think about it is, at a minimum, we'll have a treasury of assets. Though most of those assets are going to be NFTs, which are metaverse digital land. And so the ones that we, at a minimum, right, we expect the appreciation on the value of that land to increase, especially the ones that we're going to choose it initially, because we believe that they have the most long-term viability, right? The ones that have been around the longest, the ones that have, many investors, decentralized, rate of change in terms of development, right? There's a lot of development going on, and should give it enough legs to last, the next many years. So at a minimum, we'll see some asset appreciation. Beyond that, we'll be looking to leverage some different DeFi tools and rental tools and protocols to be able to offer our land up for rent. And we hope to have tenants, right? So then we'll have rental revenue. And then we'll also leverage our in-house creators guild to actually do the building and the build to suit for the brands, corporations, and different businesses that we're hoping to get on the land as quality tenants. That's like two of the more straightforward ways of doing it. Obviously asset appreciation and then the rent. But what we've seen in DeFi and what we see, even in some NFTs, is the ability to unlock the value of these land NFTs through collateralization and other DeFi, mechanisms that you can do with ETH and wrapped BTC and USDC. Just last month, 101 CryptoPunks were collateralized, and 8 million DAI was borrowed against that. And so now you take that 8 million DAI and you do some yield farming, or you can do, and the sky's the limit, really, according to any different risk profile. So then you're unlocking value of your land. Not only are you have someone on top of it, you've built, and done the service of building for that land. You have a renter in it. You're getting paid the lease. You're also now unlocking the value through DeFi and yield farming, doing any sorts of creative fractionalization. There's a lot that you can do there. So I think, through those main pillars, we'll certainly see some value accrual outside of just the asset appreciation. But I think there's just a lot to offer. We see it as commercial real estate in a lot of ways. And there's some really big global commercial real estate companies that have made, that have been around for literally 150 years doing this. And they've been able to last because the land is, especially in this case, the land is space. It's digital space for different activities to happen on top of it. So we're looking to connect people with that digital space and helping them build on it and realize the value for their customers.
Yeah. And you said that you have you guys have a team of creators that are ready to start building and things such as Sandbox and Decentraland.
Yeah. Go ahead, Punk. I saw you wanted me to go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, so the way we went about it is we wanted to bounties in our DAO. So the way that we see it is people that are part of the DAO will fill out bounties, and then let's say there's a project to build something in Sandbox, then that'll be a bounty on our site, and someone can go and do it, get accepted, complete the project, and then get paid. And that's why we've been sort of working this Creators Guild. So the Creators Guild is if you fill out a form in our Discord with sort of some info about what you do and who you are, or more what you do really, not so much who you are. But anyway, then you can join the Creators Guild, and the idea is just to have sort of a big directory of different builders and creators. And so far, I believe we have about 200. I'm not sure the exact number, but we have quite a lot. And recently in our Decentraland Fashion Week, we worked with a lot of people in the guild, and we're continuously onboarding when we meet talented people that we want to work with, or through friends and people in the Discord that introduce others. So we're definitely new, but we are growing, and I think the guild will continue to grow until it's just a bunch of people learning together, working together, and then getting paid for it in the meantime and creating cool stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, that's the fact that you already have 200 people, and that's impressive. So, and someone in chat said Sandbox Builder here. Hey, you know, if you once they launch and stuff, you see them put out a bounty, then you know, go try to secure that bounty.
Join our Discord. Hop in.
Yeah, make sure you guys join the Pangea Discord. Follow them on Twitter. I'm glad you brought up Fashion Week because I kind of wanted to segue into that, and I saw reading through some of your tweets like the past couple weeks. You guys were doing a lot of stuff with Metaverse Fashion Week. If you want to talk a little bit about that, what exactly were you guys doing with Metaverse Fashion Week?
Yeah, so basically we were sort of about a month ago, probably about a month and a half ago, we were, you know, in the pre-launch phase, trying to get as much noise out there so people hear about us, trying to get some content and some research articles out so people know like what our theses are. And it just so happened that this fashion week was happening and we didn't have a lot of time. We had about 3 weeks, which really isn't a long time to plan this kind of thing. Other people had 3 to 4 months. And then we also didn't have any money because we haven't launched yet. So everything is bootstrapped. And PangeaDAO as a DAO has, you know, no money until we sort of do the pre-sale, especially because we haven't taken any VC money or early investors. So we had no money and not a lot of time. And we just kind of realized that this was a huge opportunity to put Pangea on the map, to say we can do something anyway, and to show the power of our community, of our creators, of ourselves to execute on a plan. So we basically just, Johnny Fiat, who has land in Decentraland, he donated some for the Fashion Week. So we were able to rent it, borrow it for the Fashion Week. And then with that, I believe there's 7 plots, or 8 actually, because we got one more at the end. On those 8 plots, we were able to get a team of creators together to build a huge sort of, as you can see in the pictures, a huge stage, event gallery. We had a runway, and on top we had different NFT art of different projects and people. And then part of the stuff that, you know, was in the background was also, because we had no money, we had to get some sponsors to pay for it, which was a lot of work, but also very gratifying because it meant that we were actually able to pay our creators that worked on it. So we had the Hard Architect, who is a great designer and virtual designer. He created this sort of, you see in some of the pictures, but the way the event space works is like this cloudy sort of white thing. Yeah, there it is. Exactly. So these kind of bubbles in the air. And then Horace, who was the builder, he implemented it all. And we worked with a bunch of wearables companies to do some catwalks. We did work with Decentral Games, which are a big play to earn poker game in Decentraland. And we actually did a show for them. And we had Kid Super come and do an event, and it was awesome. Like, we had, as I said, like there's some big companies, and they have spent hundreds of thousands, if not millions, on this event. And little Pangea just rocked up, and we were actually on the front page of Decentraland on their events page for the whole, I think pretty much the whole weekend.
Wow.
And other people might have, I mean, yeah. So it was a big success, and I think it really showed the power of our community that we could get that many people together that fast. And yeah, we're just looking forward to do many more of these things, and hopefully soon we'll be able to do it in Sandbox too, and then why not in other worlds as well. Just whenever there's an event, we want to be a part of it because we're here to stay.
Nice. Yeah, I was just about to ask if you planned on doing any events like this in Sandbox. So these pictures we're looking at with you know, all these avatars in there, that is this is at your guys' event?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So you guys had a pretty good turnout of people showing up.
Oh, it was tremendous. We had the biggest events back-to-back nights in Decentraland. We're besides like all the poker games that DG holds, we were the biggest event, like even bigger than Genesis Plaza, which is where you spawn in when you get in there.
Yeah.
I believe on the second day we had, just in the show, we had 700 people pass in and out.
Wow.
I don't have the official numbers. We had one of the stream numbers. So that's a bunch of people. And our POEPs were gone, I think, on the first day. So we had 3 days of events, but we couldn't pass the POAP through fast enough because we're trying to get this done in decentralized servers. So we had a limited amount, and they were gone in the first day.
Did you get any like feed, like the Decentraland, like, you know, I guess message you guys afterwards and say like, you know, congrats on the event? Like we didn't, like, you guys had a lot of people come through.
Unfortunately not, but we are in pretty close comms with a bunch of people at DCL, and they definitely did take notice, which is nice to feel.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely good. Oh, you go ahead.
We got a really cool comment from someone, which was some of our advisors. That was one of them said, before this event, we were telling people about Pangea and sort of trying to bring it up in conversation when it came up. And after this event, the week after all the meetings, well, not all, but a lot of the meetings we've had, it's been the other people bringing up Pangea and asking them about it because they know their advisors and they're curious and want to know more. So
Awesome.
it kind of really changed it like that for us.
Yeah, no, yeah, I bet that's definitely a good pre-hype event before the token sale. And you said that people got, I guess, allow with spots to get into the pre-sale from going to this event.
Yeah, so we put up a big banner, which had a link to our allow list spots and also from the POAPs. And the idea is that it's still a very early stage. If people are hearing about us, willing to jump in and support our events, that's the kind of people that we want to have sign up. And it's the same case for the people that might be listening here. If you're listening to this and you think this sounds kind of cool, and you actually jump in our Discord and join our events and stuff like this, then there are still allow list spots available because that's our ideal DAO member, someone who is interested enough to jump in. And a lot of people, it might not even be their world of choice or metaverse of choice, but if they're still willing to jump in, that says a lot about commitment. So that's really awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, and you guys heard it here. Someone, how do you access Pangea right now? Head over to their Discord. Like they said, there's still some allow with spots, and their their token pre-sale is going to be on the 18th, so 10 days. They're going to be selling those pre-sale tokens and getting things rolling. Do you guys currently have any partnerships that you guys have?
Yeah, we have a good amount of partnerships, and we're always working to make some more. Some partnerships I can share with you is on the side of the DAO contribution stuff. We really wanted to make an effort to make sure that we are building systems to adequately and fairly compensate all DAO contributors in the variety of mechanisms that they contribute in. So we are partnered up with Coordinate and Utopia Labs. Those are both two contribution rewards programs, and we were partnered up with SourceCred, but unfortunately they're winding down now. On the side of land, we are partnered up with Parcel NFT, which is a land marketplace, and they do some evaluations of land in real time, and they have some stuff like that. And so they were a partner of us as well as one of our advisors. And now we kind of are shifting focus to doing some DAO to DAO partnerships, because we really think that's where like the future is for DAOs to work together and kind of leverage one another. And the only one that I can actually share with you currently is that we are working with Intern DAO to kind of help on the treasury management and token economics side of things of the project. We have a bunch of other ones in the works, but I can't share them with you just yet.
Nice. Well, there you have it. Little no alpha today, but I guess, is there anything that you guys feel like I didn't ask? You know, I try to go through, get like a couple questions, but I know you guys do have the token sale coming up. Is there anything do you think people watching the stream today should know specifically that we haven't talked about?
I'd say, like, in regards to the pre-sale and the public sale, we really are putting in a lot of effort into, or putting some thought into, like, making sure that we are doing this in the most fair way possible to kind of go alongside our ethos. And so that started with how we were going to add people to allow us, making it not super difficult and making people jump through hoops to get on this, and rather making it just people that are part of these communities that we want to see join our system and join our community. Like, that's really what we opened up to. So that's people in the metaverse focusing on it. There's builders there. Those are people in our community, people that are part of communities that are already focused on DAO contributions. So that was one thing that we really did. And then going towards the pre-sale, we actually dropped our pre-sale information article yesterday, which kind of outlines all the details about that. And so generally, like, a lot of these pre-sales will have a set price in the token and sell it at that way. But rather, we thought that it'd be more powerful and interesting to have the demand for the pre-sale dictate the price of what Pangea is. So on April 18th, we're selling 5% of total token allocation of Pangea, and there's no set price. So everyone that's on the allow list can contribute as much as they want, up to 1 ETH, and then the total amount of contributions divided by the total tokens that are being sold that day will be the final price of the pre-sale, which will then be doubled for the public sale. So basically, anyone that is a part of the allow list will have an opportunity to get all Pangea tokens at a 50% discount of what they will be sold a couple weeks later for. And yeah, we think that this IBCO style pre-sale is the most fair way so that anyone that wants to participate in it can. And no matter what, a certain amount of tokens will be sold. If we only raise like $1, for example, like, still the same amount of tokens are being sold. So anyone could have a great chance of getting some cheap Pangea tokens.
Awesome. Well, I've pretty much gone through everything that I wanted to ask or talk about. As if you guys have any closing thoughts that you want to feel free to add. If anyone in chat has any questions that you would like me to ask, then feel free. But I did want to say I do appreciate you guys coming on, and best of luck with your token sale. I hope it goes well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate you having us on here. And also, just if I had a closing thought, it would be, if there's any creators out there, just especially if you're a Sandbox creator that wants to get involved and see us doing things in DCL, we'll also be in Sandbox. We'll also be in other worlds if you're in other worlds, and join the Discord and have a say. And if we get a bunch of people in our Discord that's part of a specific world or a specific metaverse, then it makes a lot of sense that we explore those communities. So don't be deterred by the fact that we've been in TCL so far, but that's just, the first step. We're really open to anyone. And thanks for having us on.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, just hop in the Discord, reach out to me, hit me up through the main Pangea Twitter. Our DMs are always open, and we'll pretty much respond to anyone as long as they're not an NFT promoter. And yeah, no, we're super open, and we'd love to welcome the SandStorm community into ours.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on once again. I want to thank you guys for watching the show today. Like I said, check out Pangea, join their Discord, follow them on Twitter, follow us on Twitter, and also follow the live stream so you know when we do go live. It's usually 12 o'clock Eastern. So I think we will be live again on Monday again. So thank you guys for coming out, and hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.